Hi, welcome to Book Talk. We are doing nonfiction. Dig deeper, read, investigate, and discover is our summer reading theme. And that is what John Carreyrou, who wrote Bad Blood, Secrets and Lies in a Silicon Valley Startup, did. He investigated this biotech startup that was basically not delivering on what they promised. And I didn't think I would like this as much as I did because it's about a corporation and the business world. But it's really about the leader at the head of this company who was so delusional and had this grandiose plan that never panned out, and about how the company was silencing people and their employees and threatening to sue, and in some cases suing them if they said anything about the unethical practices that were going on. So in that way, it was fascinating to me to read about this young woman who dropped out of college just with these grand delusions of, I'm going to do this, which people told her it's really not something that's like feasible in the near future, this kind of biotech thing she wanted. And the idea is great. It would be great if it did work, but it's kind of something out of sci-fi, I guess, but she was just so, she just really wanted this. So it was very fascinating to see how this all came about, how they got away with it for so long, just kind of like fake it till you make it, and they never made it, so they were just lying. And then how he eventually, started cracking the case, and it started with an article he published, and then it went from there, and the truth came out. So, Bad Blood, I recommend it. It also became a documentary, so if you want to watch it, that was good too. I watched it after I read it. So yeah, really good, 5 stars. So then we are going to dig deeper into genetics. The Sports Gene by David Epstein. This came out in 2013, so there might be a few more advancements in genetics since then, but really this is just a bunch of stories and studies of athletes. And like Michael Phelps, his body was basically born to be a swimmer, like huge shoulders, big feet. But yeah, little things like that, like it's genetics, but it's also how much training and how much will to train, but that's also genetics, like someone's, gumption and will to keep practicing and like go at it. So there's just a whole bunch in here. Did you know that a major trait of major baseball players is their visual acuity and their like eyesight that's like perfect and like better than like the average better than like any, like at the top of the human's eyesight. He talks about basketball players, their wingspan, of course, their height. He talks about Kenyan and Ethiopian runners. So he goes through a lot here. Lots of just fun little stories and studies of athletes, and I went through it really fast. The Inside the Science of Extraordinary Athletic Performance is the subtitle, but there's not too much science in here. I don't know science. I haven't studied science. There's a little talk of genomes here and there, but he doesn't bog it down. And there's not really, like I said, it's more the stories and studies of like this group of athletes compared to this and things like that. So it's fun. I had it recommended to me. Someone said, this book is so good. So I read it several years ago now. And I just remember it being like a very fun read, and it didn't seem like science-y at all. So it was fun. So I will leave you with that. And the last one, unfortunately, our copies are out. This is Really War, the incredible true story of a Navy nurse POW in the occupied Philippines by Emilie Lucchesi. This is her second book. We had her for our community read when she came here to discuss her Ugly Prey book. Check that one out. So this one is really good. This one, I couldn't put it down. These 12 nurses were trapped in the Philippines, and Japan took over, and they got taken to a concentration camp, basically, where they didn't have a lot of food. They were living in crowded, dirty situations, as you can imagine. But really, you can't imagine. Like, I'm reading this and I'm like, I can't imagine this, because things got worse and worse. There was like a sadistic head of this camp who wanted to slowly starve them. So it was so gradual that people wouldn't notice, that, outsiders wouldn't notice. Like little by little taking the portions of food away. So it's like almost unnoticeable, but then they're like starving. And she and the other 11 nurses kept providing care for everyone in the concentration camp. And then they were moved to another one that was even worse. So the bravery of these women who did not know like when the Navy was coming back for them, because the Navy had pulled out their men from the Philippines, but these poor nurses were kind of forgotten for a little while, and they didn't know what was going to happen. So, years went by. So this is the true story based off of diaries and memoirs and, a bunch of things that she dug into and investigated. And like I said, I couldn't put it down. It was 5 stars. I really recommend it. There's a little love story that happens in the camp that you'll find out about what happens years later. And yeah, it's inspiring kind of too also, but of course just a survival story that is really gripping. And one more thing, she did a wonderful virtual presentation for us over Zoom that we have recorded on our YouTube channel, so if you want to check that out, she goes more in depth and you can listen to her amazing story. So these are the 3 nonfiction books that will help you dig deeper into these subjects. And, true stories, fascinating. And join me next time. Put in comments below. Do these books look good to you? Have you read them? And join me next time. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to the Stickney-Forest View Public Library's YouTube channel. Also, like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The Stickney-Forest View Public Library District, where great things happen.